Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining me today for Grace with Paul Gray. I've been thinking about lately the concept of being right or being with. It kind of falls in line with what I knew versus who I now know. Let me explain that. Let me ask you, when somebody asks you about God, religion, Christianity, church, spirituality, whatever, what comes to your mind and how do you respond? I'll tell you how I used to respond. I would go to the Bible and I would quote verses and tell people what I knew about God. I'd be very confident and very assured and very dogmatic because I knew I was right. I would start with what I knew as being true, that all mankind was evil and sinful, which made God really angry with us. And God, his hands were tied. He had to punish us all and send us all to hell. I would quote verses that would tell about how God did love us so much that he sent his only son and punished him horrifically because somebody had to pay and somebody had to make some kind of a way for God to like us enough not to send us to hell and instead send us to heaven. Then I would move to what I knew about how we were supposed to live now. And if we didn't, God would be bummed again. We'd maybe get a bad disease or lose our job or be in a car wreck or something like that. And if we didn't do things just right, we'd still go to hell anyway. No matter that Jesus was brutally tortured and died to keep us from going. I knew that was true. You know how? Because people with experience and letters after their names in high religious positions told me, and I just knew they had to be right. After all, they'd studied, they had experience, they'd been to seminary, they had to be right. Can you relate? Most of the people that I told what I knew didn't buy it. Yeah. Then something happened a few years ago, after I was 60 years old. Instead of memorizing Bible verses and telling people what I knew must be true about God academically, I started actually getting to know God personally, intimately, closely. And God himself started telling me and showing me what he was really like. And he told me and he showed me that he loved me unconditionally, and he loves everyone unconditionally, and that trumps everything else. He told me and he showed me that he didn't punish Jesus on the cross. Angry religious and political people did that, not God. He told me and showed me that he loves being with me, hanging out with me. He even likes me and delights in me. He told me and showed me that the real reason Jesus came was to show us, everyone, what he, the Father, is really like. And he is just like Jesus. He told me and he showed me that Jesus did everything to make and to show us that we're not separated from God. We're in union with God. He lives in all of us with no exceptions. He told me and showed me that his gospel, good news about grace, is total good news for everyone with no exceptions and no conditions. Now he shows me every day how he sees and feels about me and everyone else. And it's all good. So now, rather than be dogmatic about my knowledge of Scripture and taking verses even out of context and trying to make them all fit together into a systematic theology that proves what I know, which was totally wrong before, now I just talk about how good God is because of my own personal experience of knowing God and relating to God 24/7. It's a big change. If perhaps you might be where I used to be or somewhere like that, I would encourage you to, rather than relying on what you've been told certain verses mean and how they fit together and everything, I would encourage you just to stop, get away, get quiet, and just say, God, Papa, Father, whatever you want to call him, say, tell me what you're really like. I want to know. Tell me who you are and what you're really like. And then listen. And then enjoy. Thanks, everybody. See you next time.